What's up, nation? Today let's talk about Ocarina of Time and the likelihood that we will see a PC port released for this game soon, and Nintendo now doing a new job posting that reference an upcoming Nintendo Direct. Alright everyone, so we have a couple different exciting stories to go over today, the first of which is Ocarina of Time, and that we are probably going to see a PC port released for this game sometime soon. Obviously this will not be licensed by Nintendo, but this is rather a fan project, and we have actually seen this done with Mario 64, and they have made incredible enhancements to that game as far as the PC port version goes. So I do want to share my opinions on what this could mean for Ocarina of Time and another great way to play one of our favorite classics. And then we also have Nintendo hiring for somebody specifically for video production, and that it may include Nintendo Direct responsibility. So I know there's been a huge gap in time since we've seen a mainline Nintendo Direct, and this could be referencing hopefully the end of that drought. So I want to share the article and my opinions and takeaways on that. Now, before we do hop into all the details today, I just want to quickly invite you all to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy the content today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming and console news as we're in the new generation of gaming. But with that, guys, let's dive into the details. So one thing I love to see in the gaming community is whenever a group of fans waits for something for too long, or they just think that Nintendo may or may not ever get around to actually doing it themselves, they will actually take the task upon like remastering games or making them playable in a PC version so you can edit the files from the ground up. And it is just a really cool thing to see. We saw it with Mario 64. Obviously Nintendo is not a fan of this kind of stuff, but it is something that does happen when, you have a bunch of fans that have grown up who now understand how to do these coding things on computers, and they want to replay some of their favorite classics with newer things like ray tracing, 4K resolution, and then just better overall touched up textures and better environments. Now I think we are about to see this happen for Ocarina of Time as we did for the Mario 64 port, because they have made some incredible enhancements to Mario 64 and it's really fun to play. I don't have direct links or anything like that, but it's not hard to find on the internet, and it is amazing what they were able to accomplish with the PC version of that game. And they did kind of, once it was released, take their time for the community to actually get everything updated, and there's many different mods and things you can do. But the reason we're talking about Ocarina of Time today is that there is a similar group of fans that is roughly about 60% complete at completing the Ocarina of Time PC port version by reverse engineering the code that Nintendo has on this game. So if they're 60% there, I don't know the exact timeline that it'll be done and released, but it is exciting that it's something we can look forward to, hopefully sooner rather than later. But let's read through the article together and look at the details of where this project sits and kind of how it came to be. The community-driven Nintendo reverse engineering team ZRET has been working for more than a year to reverse engineer the N64 classic into parsable C code, similar to how fans were able to fully convert Super Mario 64 after a 2-year effort. This kind of reverse engineering is made legal because the fans involved do not use leaked source code for their work, and instead painstakingly recreate the N64 game from scratch using modern coding languages. The decompilation project also does not use any of Nintendo's original copyrighted assets such as graphics or sound. In Mario 64's case, the decompilation efforts eventually resulted in a fully functioning PC port of the N64 game, which is able to scale to any screen's resolution and easily be modded by the community with new graphics and modern effects such as ray tracing. The N64 game was also ported by fans to work on the Nintendo 3DS and run at 60 frames per second. Any potential Ocarina of Time port would presumably allow similar mods, including improved visuals like those seen in the Unreal Engine 4 fan project. The Ocarina of Time decompilation project looks on course to be finished later this year based on the pace of the progress displayed on its website. The community-based team is focusing on the GameCube Master Quest version of the game, since it features some debug commands to help with their work. However, any potential PC port is not the focus of ZRET's work, and it may require many months of extra porting by an outside team. Asked about a potential Zelda Ocarina of Time PC port last year, project member Roslet told Ars Technica that any such version was not as easy as just saying compile it for Windows. There is a lot of code that deals with talking to N64 hardware. The N64 render pipeline is very different than modern OpenGL, for example. The person said, adding that the entire process would be close but not quite as complex as writing for a full N64 emulator. So it sounds like either way, there's quite a bit of work to be done still to get this thing to be playable on the PC. So we may be another year away, maybe just 6 months, but regardless, it is very reassuring to see the community working on this project. Obviously, my number one pick would be Nintendo to actually rebuild this game from the ground up, or at the very least, give us the HD 3DS port playable on the Switch, which I did make a previous video on talking about the likelihood of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask coming to the Switch, which I would love to see. But if we don't see that, then this will probably be my next best way to go back and revisit Ocarina of Time, because like I said, if they do anything similar to the visual style and the visual upgrades that we saw with the Mario 64 port, I would absolutely be more than willing to go through Ocarina of Time an additional time in a 4K resolution with ray tracing turned on and the newer textures. It would just be a walk down memory lane for me, but with new gameplay enhancements that would be really exciting to see what they look like. So let's hope we hear more on this in the future. I will continue to report on it if we do get major updates, because this is definitely a project that interests me a lot. And the other thing we're going to talk about today is Nintendo and their lack of directs, but then also why it is now popping up in the news again that directs are maybe not dead. And I personally don't think they are. I do think Nintendo has obviously switched up their format, as it's been 500 plus days since we've actually seen a traditional mainline, like 30-minute plus Nintendo presentation that is officially called a mainline Nintendo Direct. We have had many Direct minis, many partner showcases, many indie world showcases, so they're obviously breaking up kind of the main titles from their partners more now, and that's kind of how they've been doing it through at least 2020 and into the early part of 2021. However, with a new job posting that's been found online, this may suggest that maybe Nintendo is ramping up for some additional personnel to help them on the editing and filming and things like that for future directs, because as the job title reads specifically, it says may assist with filming live action footage for use in Nintendo Directs and other content marketing initiatives. So it does sound like they're not, they're not done with directs. I know there's a lot of speculation from fans that we're just only going to see individual releases from games now and never have that like 30-minute plus presentation where they just drop all the games that are coming up. This probably suggests otherwise. So let's hope that, we're going to see probably something for Pokemon come up soon here at the end of February, because it is the 25th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise. But past that, I think that we can expect to hopefully in the March to April range see Nintendo at least comment on what their next direct initiative will be, and hopefully we get some information about Zelda's 35th anniversary and all the other titles that we will see throughout the year. And hopefully maybe this year by June we could get an E3 style direct presentation that really shows what Nintendo has lined up for 2021, because since so many projects were delayed in 2020, they should have a full year for us as fans of the Nintendo Switch. So I thought that was interesting. It's not obviously confirming a direct by any means, but it does at least give us evidence that Nintendo is not just ditching this format altogether, and we can expect to hopefully see Nintendo Direct news out there sooner rather than later. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all to leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this PC port that's in the works for Ocarina of Time, and would you plan on playing through it yourself if you're available to when it does get released? And then the other thing that I would love to know is what your opinion is on this 500-day gap in a traditional Nintendo Direct, and if you think we're around the corner from another one or not. And then before I do end the video, guys, I just want to quickly invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below. Hit the like button on your way out in this video if you enjoyed the content today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming and console news as we're in the new generation of gaming. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.